Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, I'm going to build this 1963 Corvette Stingray from AMT. This is another one of those kits that I picked up from Walmart really cheap. And this one wasn't a $5 one. This one was a little before that, but I think it was like $12 is what I paid for it. And this is a kit that has been around for quite a while. And I'm just going to build it because I know, I like Corvettes. My wife likes Corvettes. So I'm going to kind of do a custom build on this one. Not anything too crazy, but just have a few ideas on how I want to paint the body and make it look. So that's what we're building on this episode. Before I get into that, for all my returning viewers and subscribers, thank you very much for your support of the channel. I really appreciate it. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome and thank you for stopping by. If you like this content, I'd appreciate it if you give the video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please remember to click that subscribe button down below. It helps out the channel and I would really appreciate it. So for those of you who have built this kit, probably many times, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this kit. I'm really looking forward to see how it goes together. Like I said, I realize this is a repop of an older kit, a kit I never built as a kid. I remember seeing it on the shelves, but I never bought it, never built it. So this will be a first time build of this kit for me. So enough with all that, let's get this thing open and get to the build. Okay, first thing out of the box is a nice chrome tree. Looks like we've got a couple options for wheels and engine configuration. That's really nice. Okay, next we have our glass, which looks really nice as well. Okay, we've got some tires. Looks like we've got some regular tires, some street tires, and then some nice looking slicks. Oh, and look at that. They're pad printed Racemaster wheels. Very much like those. Definitely going to be using these on this kit. And the other tires are pretty nice looking, nice tread. They're Goodyear branded tires. Very nice. Okay, here we have the body. Let's get that open. Okay, this is actually several parts. Let's start with this. Okay, here is our frame. It's all one piece, but it's got some nice detail in there. Yep. Got our interior tub. Nice detail. Seats are already molded in. Pedals are molded in. Not a whole lot. I mean, there's got some texture to everything, so it's not bad, really. Then we have the body. The body looks pretty clean. I don't see a lot of bad mold lines. There's a couple right here, some right here, but those will be sanded off really quick and easy. And then we have our trees with the rest of the parts in them. Engine, interior, okay, our dashboard. Let's open this up, take a peek. Okay, here we've got our dash. It's got some decent detail on there. A lot of flash. There's our steering wheel. There's our engine and tranny combo. Again, a lot of flash, but not bad. Okay, we've got our custom hood with the cutout. Looks like some wheel backs, some headers. We have some more custom parts, custom air cleaner, another custom hood. So that's two hoods now. A couple of custom intake manifolds. Looks like a supercharger drive belt. Here we have another engine and transmission combo. So we've got full engine options here. That's kind of nice. Here's the full hood, which I would guess be stock. Here's a stock air cleaner. Decals here. Let's take a look at these. Nice looking decals. Kind of a combination of kind of 70s retro decal colors. I like that. And then some racing decals, STP, Valvoline, AHRA, hooker headers. And we have our instructions. Now this is their Street Rod series, and that's why we've got multiple options for the engine. So here's a custom engine, a Street Rod engine, stock engine, optional fuel injection engine. Very nice. And these instructions are typical old school AMT, but they look very well laid out and easy to kind of figure out what goes where. Here's our wheel options. Here's our interior, final assembly, put those together. Pretty straightforward. All right. So let's see what I end up with on this build, shall we? All right, friends, let's get to the build. Okay, so here's just a quick update. I've got the engine block and the heads on, timing cover on. So I'm about ready to take this over to paint as soon as that's dry. On the car, so in the instructions, well, now it's falling apart, but in the instructions it says that if you're going to use the slicks, you need to trim out the fender. Well, I kind of don't want to do that, so I've been kind of fiddling around here and seeing if I can get it to where I can tuck those slicks underneath the fenders there, and I think I've got it. Basically what I did was I trimmed the backings down, cut them down as just about as flat as you can get them, so that way when you put the wheels in, if I can get it in, so when you put the wheels in, the backs of the wheels are going to be right up against this frame here. And I also sanded down some of this on both sides just to take a little bit of material off to give myself a little more room in there. And I think it's going to work out good. So that's cool. On the body, I decided to go ahead and try to use these cool little panels where the exhaust pipes will come out the fender. So when I first went to go glue these on, they looked horrible. They're really thick. So what I did was I just took my sanding stick and took one and just kept sanding it down until I could get it as thin as I could. And I got it down so thin that you can almost see through parts of it. But then I got them situated and glued them onto the fender, and I actually like the way that looks. So I'm going to go with this for sure. Another thing I did was I sanded off all of the Corvette logos and things like that on both sides, and I cleaned up all the mold lines where the release lines were. I also sanded off the Corvette emblem on the back here. I left the checkered flags emblem there because I think that looks good with the body line that comes down the center on that. So I left that. I'm going to use this hood, but boy, these hoods do not fit very well at all on this kit. So that's, there's a gap there. So, and maybe you won't see it after paint, but I'm not too happy with that, but we'll see how it turns out. So that's about where I'm at, and we're going to get this over and get these parts primed and get them ready for paint. So we're back to the build. Hello friends, and here we have it, the completed 63 Corvette from AMT. This was a fun build I just wanted to do. It's an inexpensive kit, and as I've mentioned before, I really love the old Gasser type dragsters, and I really wanted to do something cool on this one. I didn't quite know how I wanted it to end out, but I really like how this one turned out. So the Gasser mod on this is pretty easy to do. It's just a matter of a different engine, a different hood. Everything else is pretty much the same, except for where you put the wheels and the axles through. You have some height options there. For this one, since it's a Gasser, they're both set to as high as they can go. I did have to modify the back end a little bit and kind of adjust where the tires go because I wanted the rear tires to kind of tuck in under the fender. I didn't want to have to trim the fender out, and I really like how that came out. For the fronts, they're pretty much exactly how they should be, except I did shorten the axle a little bit to get the wheels nice and tucked in under there. Again, really like how that turned out. For the color on this kit, I used Mission Models Pearl Copper, and this paint came out really good. I really like the way it looks. It's got a nice pearl to it, and it went on really well, went on really easy, and I was able to wet sand out a couple little spots and just respray areas, and again, just looks really good. I did black out the chrome. Well, some of the chrome I used, like the rear bumpers, I blacked those out. I also redid the chrome on the wheels and some other chrome parts. I tinted the windows really dark with some Tamiya smoke, and I think that just adds to the vintage look of this kit. So overall, this is a basic repopped kit from a long time ago, so it does have its issues. Again, this is not a kit for a beginner. It will be frustrating if this is your first time building a model kit, so don't choose this one if this is your first time. The directions are a little spotty in some places. They do not show every step, but it is a builder's model. In other words, you gotta have some experience behind you. You gotta know what model building's all about and how to just make things fit and make them work. Now, since this was an inexpensive kit, and I knew that going into it, I wasn't too concerned about perfect fitment and how everything was gonna, go together. I kind of just used the instructions as a guideline and then did my own thing. I did choose to use these custom exhaust ports here for the sides. I really like the way those look. However, getting the custom headers in there behind there, not gonna happen. So if any of you have had a problem with those headers or you have successfully mounted those headers, let me know down in the comments. I'd really like to hear your story. So basically on mine, since the hood also doesn't fit really well, and because it kind of tucks in under the back of the bug catcher there, that hood's not coming off. So I ended up leaving the headers off. You'll never know. I know they're not there, but no one else will. It'll look real good on the shelf, and for a kit like this, that's perfectly fine. So overall, fun build. Really like the way it turned out. And just another good example of how these old kits can still look really good if you spend a little time on them. Alright, so that's going to wrap up this episode, friends. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button down below. It helps out the channel, and I'd really appreciate it. Alright, so until next time, friends, everyone please be safe out there and just go build something.